Hey, good day all. It's TurboDave here at Performance Corner. Hey, suspension, Z's and G's. So 370Z's, G37s. This probably actually even goes with 350s, or G35s and 350Z's. When you lower them, we talked about suspension in other videos, but when you lower these cars, a lot of times their camber is very close to their range, like as far as adjustments can go. So when you lower the car and the tires go up, essentially your camber starts coming in because of the way the control arms are. So it's always recommended that you go with an adjustable upper control arm or their camber adjustment on those, just because usually they're either right on the line or negative as far as their factory specs go. And if you're just a person who wants to lower the car for a little bit better handling, but you're not looking to wear your tires out abnormally or go through tires faster, and even if you're in for performance, especially if you're in a performance, you'd want to be able to adjust your camber whether it's out of the factory spec range or not. And the same thing goes with the toe. The toe adjustments. Some people go when you put those when you lower them, they put larger eccentric bolts. But I always go with the adjustable toe. They're just like a long arm that adjusts. Some of them have the adjustable snails on them still, the eccentric plates on them. But I always go with the adjustable ones. It just makes it easier, especially for future reference. Sometimes they're close, and the toe is barely in or just out, but usually the camber is always out, which means when you're negative camber, essentially if this is the contact patch and this is the right rear wheel, you're going to go negative camber. So your contact patch was, say, this wide. The more negative camber you have, the contact patch becomes smaller. And what happens is, not only do you wear a smaller area out, because most of the time, especially if you're here in Southern California or anywhere actually, if you have long straight roads, you're just driving on a little bit of contact patch, and that's going to get worn more. If you're on the track, you might get a little bit more even wear actually, because you're going to be taking hard turns where it's going to want to roll the tires over to the larger area. So if this is your contact patch and you have a negative camber, when you're taking a left-hand turn, it's going to want to settle down because it's going to put forces down and want to push that tire down, and it's going to straighten out a little bit. So, but that's just, when you're talking to somebody about doing an adjustment or doing a lowering on your Z or G, or if it's already lowered and you see your alignment specs are out, or you take them to alignment shop, if they're not into performance, they're just going to tell you that it's out and there's nothing they can do. You don't want to talk to somebody that can get you these parts and get it on your car and straightened out, because it just wears the tire more even, and the rear tires tend to be much larger and wider than the fronts, which tend to be more expensive. So just keep in mind, anytime you're modifying your suspension, a lot of times it's not just the one thing that you're doing, but the after effects of it. So keep that in mind, and hopefully when you talk to somebody that's going to do the work, they notify you up front and say, hey, you know what, I understand that when you lower these, the camber can't be brought back within factory specs, or even if you want it, more negative camber for racing, just say if it's barely out of spec, but you want it at 2 or 2.5 degrees, negative, and it's not, you just don't have that adjustability there, or you want to be able to align it off the track and on the track, which means that you'll want more negative camber a lot of times to go on the track, and then you want to straighten it back up, but you can't because you don't have the proper parts on your car. So just make sure whoever you talk to can give you all the information that you need, and parts that you want to do. So just keep that in mind. This is TurboDave here at Performance Corner. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and hit the like button. We have more videos, and if there's something you want to see, let us know. Leave it in the comments below, and we'll see what we can get going on for you on that video. Thank you. Stay safe. Take care.